about the country where jogging is illegal? Well, there is a country named Burundi where actually jogging is crime. Also, home to world's longest freshwater lake, home to notorious man-eating crocodiles, heart of Africa, and also world's poorest country. The country is in East Central Africa, south of the equator. The landlocked country, a historic kingdom, is one of the few countries in Africa whose borders were not determined by colonial rulers. Burundi is bounded by Rwanda to the north, Tanzania to the east and south, Lake Tanganyika to the southwest, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the west. The former capital of Burundi was Bujumbura, the largest city in the country, and now the capital is Gitega. It gained independence from Belgium in 1962 at a great cost in human life and property. The conflicts between Burundian people has plagued the country since it gained independence. Burundians are now faced with the task of quelling ethnic dissent, promoting unity, and rebuilding the country. Many people says it is not much safe to travel within the country, but the diverse rainforests in Burundi attracts lot of tourists to the country. Now let's see how do they communicate. Burundi's official languages are Rundi, a Bantu language that is the standard medium of communication throughout the country, and French. Swahili, the language of trade, is widely spoken in Bujumbura as is French.
umwaka warawuzi benshi sivyo umwaka wahinduye ubuzima bwanje ariko imbere yaho nari nkijijwe.
Now let's see what type of people lives there. Tutsi and Hutu are the principal ethnic communities, with the Hutu constituting the overwhelming majority and the Tutsi a significant minority, and some Twa pygmies and a sprinkling of Swahili-speaking people from Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Traditionally, the Hutu have been farmers, while the Tutsi have been patronalists. Before becoming subject to European colonial rule, Burundi was governed by an ethnic Tutsi monarchy similar to that of its neighbor Rwanda. German and subsequently Belgian colonial rulers found it convenient to govern through the existing power structure, perpetuating the dominance of the Tutsi minority over the ethnic Hutu majority. It resulted a civil war lasting from 1993 to 2005 between the Hutu and the Tutsi ethnic groups. The Belgians generally identified the ethnic distinctions in Burundi and Rwanda with the following observations: the Twa, who were short, the Hutu, who were medium height, and the Tutsi, who were tallest among them. Those individuals who owned more than 10 cows were normally described as Tutsi. Now, the religious beliefs of Burundi. The country has a relatively large Christian population with about 3/5 of Burundians identifying as Roman Catholic and more than 1/8 identifying as Protestant. A large minority and even some Roman Catholics also practice traditional religion. Muslims constitute less than 1/20 of the population. Currency in Burundi is known as Burundian franc. $1 is approximately equal to 2063.66 Burundian franc. Approximately half of Burundi's land area is considered cultivable and about one-third is suitable for pasture. They cultivate rice, corn, coffee, and other things, and they even export these items to other countries. Let's have a look at their transportation facilities. In the absence of railroads, only three major routes are available across the country. They use public transport buses. A very few of Burundians have their own vehicle. An international airport is located in Bujumbura. Under the 2005 constitution, power is to be shared by the Hutu and the Tutsi. Executive power is vested in the president, who is ordinarily elected directly to a 5-year term, renewable once. The president appoints the Council of Ministers. It is a bicameral legislature with power exercised by the National Assembly, which is mandated to comprise 60% Hutu and 40% Tutsi, and by the Senate, which includes one Hutu and one Tutsi representative from each province, with 3 seats reserved for former presidents. Burundi's legal system is based on German and Belgian civil codes and customary law. The country's highest court is the Supreme Court. Courts of appeal, administrative courts, a constitutional court, and tribunals of first instance trade, and labor also exist in Burundi. Let's look at their housing pattern. The traditional settlement pattern is one of family compounds with circular one room houses often hidden by banana trees rising above the hedges of individual enclosures. Urban areas contain colonial style buildings as well as more modern housing. About one half of the country is literate, a rate that is lower than neighboring countries and well below the world average. Primary education begins at age 7 and is compulsory for 6 years. Secondary education, divided into programs of 4 and then 3 years, is not mandatory. Education is free and instruction is in Rundi at the primary level and in French at the secondary level. Now it's time to know what makes Burundi worth visiting. Bujumbura is the former capital, largest city, and main port of Burundi. Burundi's international airport is located in Bujumbura. It's in the shore of Lake Tanganyika. It's a beautiful African city. Lake Tanganyika is another attraction of Burundi. It is the largest rift lake in Africa and the second largest lake by volume in the world. It is the deepest lake in Africa and holds the greatest volume of fresh water in the continent, accounting for 16% of the world's available fresh water. The Kigwena Natural Forest has many types of trees and plants growing in it. The forest is located in a denser part, and baboons, monkeys, and different species of butterflies are some of the species to be found here. The trees are huge, and their roots come to the ground, creating a dense look in the forest. Lake Ruhinda is a small lake in northwestern Burundi, located near Kirundo town, 120 kilometers from Bujumbura town. Lake Ruhinda Natural Reserve is found in the northern part of Burundi and is one of the most prominent holiday destinations in the country. The lake and the surrounds are a protected area that boasts some of the unique attractions when it comes to flora and fauna. Ruvubu National Park is a wildlife national park found in Burundi. Ruvubu National Park is considered the largest national park in Burundi, covering a 508 square kilometers. The national park got its name Ruvubu River, which runs through the park. The park is the last of the previously large natural grassland ecosystem. Wildlife in the Ruvubu Park is abundant, and its distribution make it possible for travelers visiting the park to spot different wildlife species on almost every turn. There are a number of activities in Ruvubu Park that travelers can do while in the park. Rusizi National Park is one of the most visited national parks in Burundi by international tourists as well as the locals. The park is a few kilometers to the Democratic Republic of the Congo border. There are various activities that tourists can take part in while in Rusizi Park. You can do walking safaris, bird watching, boat safaris, and sport fishing. Kibera National Park consists of montane bogs, bamboo stands, which make a great habitat for the various wildlife that dwells there. The park serves as the source of various rivers and streams which provide water around the country, with the park receiving the highest rainfall. Saga Beach is the shore of Bujumbura's Lake Tanganyika. It is some of the best urban beaches of any landlocked country in Africa. The sand, though it not exactly pristine white and clean, is still an inviting place to drop a towel. The swimming is safe and the water warm. Mount Heha is the highest mountain in Burundi, rising to the height of 2,670 meters, being the highest point in the Burundi. It is located in the Bujumbura rural province of Burundi and it lies approximately 20 km to the east of Lake Tanganyika and about 30 km to the southwest of Bujumbura. There is trekking and riding on the lower part of the mountain. In the lush mountain of Burundi, 70 miles southeast of the bustling city of Bujumbura, lies the southernmost source of the Nile River. Maybe there are in fact many sources of the Nile, but this mountain stream in Burundi is likely the southernmost source of the river, which cut a winding course through several countries before it empties into the Mediterranean. Also, it has a pyramid. It was German explorer Burkhard Waldecker who tracked down this latter source. Both then and now, the Burundi source is only a tiny trickle of water flowing slowly down from a spring of Mount Kikisi. This is almost everything about the country Burundi. It will be a great place in your vacation list. Everybody should go and explore Heart of Africa and share it with your friends. If you like this video, you know what to do.